Welcome to Sim UK. My name is Mike, and it is the 8th of April 2017. It's 8:30 in the morning. My little girl is having a lie-in for a change. So I thought, what better can I do with my time than jump on SimAirport and get the first episode of this Let's Play series out. Now, you might be able to, excuse me, you might be able to tell from my voice that once again, I have a cold. Lucky me. So, apologies for any sniffing, snorting, sneezing, whatever. I was going to say farting, but yeah, whatever happens is just unavoidable. I'm sorry. I'll do my best. I've got a coffee here to wake my brain up and hopefully keep my mouth watered. Right. Apologies. Let's start a new game. The options we have are sandbox and career mode. Now, I have spent a little bit of practice time just getting used to the game so that I've got some idea of what I'm doing. Sandbox mode, although you start with $1 million, and although you use money, I've discovered you can just keep using money. You never run out of money. You can just buy anything you want. Just build an entire airport system if that's what you want to do, which is kind of cool, I guess. And you got start from scratch or not as well. But I think we're going to go with career mode. So I've got some sort of, I don't know, guidance as to what to do next. Map size. I quite like the extra large map because it gives you the opportunity to just, keep going for a bit longer and expand and do some tremendous things. Okay. Starting from scratch or not? Now, this is a tricky one, because starting from scratch is obviously a lot harder. Alright. When on, you will begin without any structures or starting airport. Yes, that's obvious. SimAirport is in early access. There are bugs. We don't recommend using this option due to bugs or crashes that may prevent you from playing further, but you may choose to if you really want to. Or do I really want to? You'll also begin with an extra 500,000 in starting funds. See, now they're trying to entice me in to do it. It's tempting. It's tempting. I think what I'll do is I'll start with a structure already, and then maybe if you guys really want to see a career mode started from nothing at all, then just let me know in the comments section and we can start another one. So for now then, career mode, extra large, not starting from scratch, start new game. Oh, this is interesting. Show tutorial coming soon. Random events coming soon. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it's good to know that there is stuff coming soon. It'll be a bit late for the tutorial. I think everyone will have learned how to play this game by the time the tutorial's ready, but there you go. Right. Let's jump in. This is our airport, looking rather nice. What have we got? We got down here some movement. Whoa. Who are these guys? Oh, we got staff already. Janitor. A few security. Workmen. They must be having their tea. Work ladies. Or, hippies. Not sure. No, they definitely look like ladies to me. I think these zones, as they're called, need to be moved up because that's a long way away from the old airport itself. So let's just... Who's this guy? Oh, I get it. That's the janitor. He stood in the garbage area because that's where his sort of default start place must be. Right, okay. So we get rid of all that. We've got ticketing area, baggage claim, security. That, to me, that's not enough. That's going to just cause congestion. 2 restrooms. Interestingly, yep, that's for those who haven't gone through security and for those who have. So that's an interesting divide. And when I say I've done some practice, that's really all I've done. I know what things do, I know how to do things, but I haven't really sussed out how the game itself works. I've tried to figure some stuff out, but it's probably quite important that you have facilities for those who haven't gone through check-in and for those who have. So some food, some water, some drinks, and a restroom. So that makes sense, actually. All right. Let's see here. There's also a complex security-related system where the airport will be shut down if you don't have security in place correctly. So let's begin. I think we're already on zones. Drop-off point. This makes sense that that's over here by the entrance. Pick-up point. That makes sense that that's over here by the exit. That's an annoying, like, single-line gap there. Right. Now, one thing I've discovered is that when people get dropped off, I had this fantastic security system in my practice here, but people would just walk around and come in through the exit. So at some point, I'm going to build a square here in an attempt to stop that from happening, but we'll get to that later. What else do we need? We need deliveries. A big old deliveries area, and garbage. It's a load of garbage. Why aren't these guys moving? They're not relocating over to here. That's weird. I hope I haven't broken it already. Right. So obviously we have an airport. It's 8:30 in the morning up here on day one. This is airline interest. Half of them, less than half of them, are interested in having aircrafts at our airport. What do we have here? A couple of 737s, a couple of 767s. Oh, okay, so you can't have night flights until you've upgraded the runway to have lights, which makes perfect sense, really. Beechcraft. Yep, same issue. Okay. Embraer 195 in the afternoon. We'll take that. And that should pop up in the schedule. There it is. 12 o'clock noon. Aerostar 725. A maximum of 90 passengers. That's quite good, actually. It's a nice low number to sort of get us started, I guess. Any changes made will affect beginning tomorrow. Oh, right. So any changes you make in the schedule area here, like if I moved it from 12 till 2, for example, that won't actually take effect until 24 hours time. So that's worth noting. So tomorrow at noon, that should be arriving rather than today at noon, I think is what that means. So we've got one aircraft on its way. We've got 2 ticketing systems and a baggage claim area. Right, let's start building some stuff. First of all, queues. Now, I quite like this. This is a feature that, I mean, you guys know, this is almost identical in reality to Prison Architect. But Prison Architect does not have a queue system. And I really like this queue system. I'd rather you could delete queues with the right mouse click, but the right mouse click in this game doesn't seem to do a damn thing. Underutilized mouse control, that is. Okay, so we've got some queues, and what is going on? Do I have to get that off? Oh, there we go. Assign that to that queue, and then... this is a bit fiddly. Let me zoom in. There we go, that's better. Assign to... that queue. And then I think, if I remember rightly, there are, let's type in here, ticket system. Yes, there's these ticketing kiosks. These allow people to get their tickets for those who don't have baggage to check in. So they can just come and get their ticket and go through security straight away. Speaking of security, this seems to be all up and running quite nicely, but like I say, I think this is going to be a terrible bottleneck, especially when we start getting a few extra passengers in. Let's start with a bin, because I have a thing about bins, apparently. A bin there, and we'll also have some info so that people know when their flights are taking off and they don't get lost or miss their flight. This gate agent desk allows people through into the gate area along this thing. The runway, I think that's called. No, gangway? I don't know. So let's put a queue here. Whoops. Oh, and something like that. That looks pretty good. And then we need to assign. Oh look, any passengers, coach only, first class. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Because it doesn't matter if the poor people are unhappy, but if the rich people are unhappy, you're going to know about it. Let's see here. Oh. So we'll make this first class, and we'll make this coach only, and we'll see how well that pans out, I guess. Right, let's get some seating. Benches. Nope, that's not what it's called. Bench, just a bench. Right. Now, I'm thinking along the walls here I'm going to want some sort of vending machines. So let's have at least a single walkway available. Incidentally, it's key R. Oh, that's not going to work out. Unless, of course, I don't put any... I'm not going to put any vending machines down the bottom, just the top. That's kind of what's going to happen there. Otherwise, that's not going to work. Okay, so... yeah, and it's R key to rotate, by the way, in case you didn't know. Let's see. Whoops. Vending machine. Electronics. Food. I think there's a drink machine. There it is. That should be enough, I think. We'll see. We'll monitor that. And because people are messy, I'm going to pop a bin up here. Oh, that's interesting. So in the image, the bin is lower than when you've actually placed it. It's interesting, isn't it? I find that interesting anyway. Right. I feel like I've forgotten something really important, but I can't figure out what it is just at this time. So security's looking pretty good. Now, I've looked at these things, but I've never used one. A body scanner. A more advanced alternative to a standard metal detector. So this will replace this only. I thought for a moment it would replace all of it, like it would scan your ID and your bag and you all at the same time, but apparently not. It just replaces this. And how much is that? 5,100, and a metal detector is how much? 2,800. There's quite a considerable difference there for not a huge amount of extra benefit. Now, I'm sure later on in development that will actually be relevant in some way or other, but as it is now, I don't think that's really going to make much difference. Now, I've noticed as well, queues only seem to work on some things. So if I put a queue there like that, whoops. See that this thing cannot have queues, which is a bit odd. And I've noticed a few other things I've tried to put queues on, you can't do it. Can you do a queue on here? Let's have a look. Queues. Now what I'm going to do with this queue is I'm going to make it go up against... No, that's not good because the restroom's there. That's not good. I'm going to change that idea. Let's have it go out this way a tad. That looks pretty good. A nice orderly queue. Now this ID booth, I think you can have queues. Yes, you can. Assign. Oh, we need to do 2 queues. One for the rich and one for the poor. Close that. And we'll assign this one, but we'll make this first class only. Oh, it goes blue if you're first class. Nice. Okay. Did that work? Yes. Perfect. Now, you can't do the same for these, I don't think. No, see? No queue option. So it's just a case of this is where the queue is, and then you deal with that. Maybe, actually, let's stick another ID thing in here. At some point, I'll be very much looking towards expanding this whole security area anyway, because this, I mean, if I've got 400 people coming in, you know, for a single flight, that's just really not going to work. Oh my god! She's got 3 hands! Yeah, so it's a bit weird. Security just sort of go and stand upon another security member if the thing you want them to work on hasn't been built yet. And here comes the thing, I think. Or is this going over here? That's probably a bench. Let's speed things up. Going a bit too slowly. That's better. Chop, chop. We've got all this to build yet. Right. Let's have a look. What other objects have we got here? ATC tower. Now some... Oh, ATM. That's important. We better have one of those. Let's pop the ATM there. And then I think we'd better have an ATM over here. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, the ATC tower. There are certain aircraft. I think it's the Dash 8 that requires an ATC tower. Now, I don't know if it's just that aircraft or a combination of aircraft similar to that, but yeah, that's when you need an ATC tower when you're getting big aircraft in. But in order to have those, you need a bigger gate. I think possibly you need a longer runway. Not sure. Excuse me. Swig of coffee required. That's better. Thank you for your patience. Now, baggage carousel at £5,000 connects to underground conveyor system for an automated bagging solution. Now, I really want to do that. I haven't even tried it yet, but I'm not going to put one of those in. I'm not going to waste £5,000 on it because we haven't got the automated system, so it just won't work. So I'm not worried about that. Same with cafeteria. I think. Where do we go here? Pricing. Right. So for every time a plane lands, we get $400, and for every passenger that gets on that plane, we get $10. Okay, so that's not a great deal of money. So if you've got, say, a plane with 100 passengers on, that's 1,000. Is it? Yeah, it's $1,000. It's $1,400. Excuse me, I got a cold. It's $1,400 that you earn for that plane. Now, that's not an awful lot of money when you consider we've got all the security staff, we've got the equipment, we've got the runway, we've got the gate, we've got all this stuff to pay for. $1,400 for a single flight is not that much money. It really isn't. So having a cafeteria, I think, is where we'll probably make most of our money. But to set one up, I expect is quite expensive, and it will take up quite a lot of space. What I might do then, having thought about it momentarily ago, if I do build out this square area here, that would be a perfect place for the cafeteria. But then I assume I'm going to need one in here as well, because you've got pre-check-in and post-check-in. And I love chicken. Sorry, that's probably not as funny as it is to you as it is to me. Right, so cafeteria's out for now, baggage carousel's out for now, ATC is out for a while. Oh, decorative stuff, indoors only. Indoors only. Let's have a decorative bush. Yep. Oh, incidentally, to cancel a project, it's right click. So that's the only time that right click does work. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I like that. I wonder if I can block people off. I'm interested to see if that works. I've not tried that before. Anyway, so we got some flowers. We got some, you know, greenery, I suppose. Some eye candy. What do we got here? A dumpster. Helps keep trash under control by increasing the capacity of your garbage zone. Must be placed in a garbage zone, outdoors only. Well, that's a pretty groovy idea. We'll pop one of those there. Probably don't need to. How much is that? $2,000 for a dumpster. Oh my goodness me. Right. Food vending, ID, kitchen sink, kitchen storage, large hangar. What are these for? Requires 15 units of steel. How do you get steel? Oh my goodness, I don't know how to do that. 30 units of asphalt and 3 units of paint. I don't know how to do any of that. So we won't be doing that today. Metal detector, office stuff. Yeah, in research. I don't like this research thing very much. It's not as clear as it was in Prison Architect. That seems to be a much more intuitive layout and system. You guys finished work early, have you? Tea time. But yeah, this, I mean, obviously, in order to expand the airport, we're going to need to do some research. And I assume some of the research requires that you have an office. That's pretty much basically what it is. What's this? A door, but for the fences on the exterior of your airport can be placed on top of roads. Also preserves secure area division. Okay, that's cool. So I assume, I don't know what you'd use that for actually. Future development there, I think, quite possibly. Pizza oven, this is all cafeteria stuff. Runway, I don't know why the runway is in objects and not in build. I really think it's in the wrong place, to be honest with you. But anyway, there it is. Security exit, a secure area boundary. This allows passengers to transition to non-secure areas. Right. Oh, I haven't seen that before. So maybe I should have used these gates instead of these. Instead of these flower pots. That might be a better... Let's just pop a couple of those in and see how that works out. Sinks, that's obviously for the bathrooms, or the toilet area, the restroom as they call them. Storage shelf. Helps with supply management by increasing the capacity of your delivery zone. That's quite cool actually. That's a nice feature. Didn't have that in Prison Architect, and I know I keep referring to that, but they're not the same game. They're not by the same people. They just look incredibly similar. That's all. Tree 1, tree 2, tree 3. This is outside. 1,750. Let's go for a cheap tree, I think. Couple of cheap trees. Join the cheap trees. Like that. Just like that. Sorry. Drop off area. We'll expand that a tad. Right, perfect. And then we're going to sort of earmark this square zone here for the cafeteria at some point. I think that's it. That's all lined up with the queue. That's got queues. What time is it? Oh, we're on day 2 already. 5:30 in the morning. When's our plane due? Noon. 12 o'clock noon. Right. Final finishing. What do we need? I think I ought to provide some food and drink options over here for the non-checked in vending. That's what I meant to type. Food, yes. Let's put it over here actually, by where we're going to build the cafeteria later. I don't think we need electrics. We'll just do one for food and one for drinks. Whoa, that zooms in really quite aggressively. There we go. Food and drinks. Perfecto. Anything else? What have I forgotten? Benches. Oh, that would be good. For people who are not yet ready to go and check in for whatever reason. And one thing I've discovered, having played this game a little bit, is that more often than not everybody will get on the flipping aeroplane. And I don't know if that's something I'm doing wrong or just part of the game. Maybe, you know, every flight has people that miss their flight. I'm not sure. Just going to have another swig of coffee, guys. I do apologise. I need something to keep me going this morning. Oh, that feels better. That feels better. How long we got? 4 hours. So we're going to have some passengers turn up pretty soon. What have I forgotten to do? Let's just check objects again. I thought that was a widescreen TV for a moment. It's not. It's a table for the cafeteria. Coffee maker. Yep, that's for the kitchen. Bushes. Oh, I suppose we could do some decorative bushes. Oh, these are outdoors only. Indoors, there we go. Now, I'm not sure if I should have some variety or not, but I'm not going to. How are we doing for cash? 195,000. That's not good. I've spent an awful lot of money. What did I start with? 250. So I spent 60 grand on what? What have I bought for 60 grand? Cannot remember. Passenger satisfaction. Does that mean we have passengers somewhere? Oh, here they are. Here they are. Straight to the food machine. I'm glad I put that in. And then they go get their tickets. That's interesting. A good point to note that. We have a little sit down. And they start coming through security. First class. Second class. Well, that seems to be working quite well. That looks incredibly organised. How many people we got coming on this flight? Arrives at 12. Departs at 2. So these guys are already ready, that's good. Right click to terminate this flight, don't want to do that. And remove it from your schedule. Going forward entirely. Termination fees apply. Okay, definitely don't want to do that. Oh, I heard an aeroplane. An Embraer. Oh, we missed the landing, sorry about that. I was a bit too busy looking at information. So 51 passengers we're expecting today, and I think pretty much, other than these guys over here, I'm not sure why they're not going through. Oh, here come the passengers off the plane. See you later. To the pickup point. Baggage claim area. How's that going to work? Uh-oh. 4-year-old's awake. Oh, here comes the baggage here, look. I got it. If I keep quiet, maybe she won't know I'm here. I think she's going to keep coming. It's quite loud sometimes. Don't know if you can hear that. Don't know if the mic's picking it up. Right, these guys are getting on. How are we doing here? 39, 45, 49, 50, 51. Excellent. That's everybody on the plane. That's good. That's excellent. That's a complete success, guys. 100% success rate for the first flight. That's great. Well, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. So that's pretty much it for today's episode, I think. We successfully got one plane out the door. If you have any suggestions or ideas for the future development of the airport, please let me know, and I'll take everything into consideration. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this episode, because that's really quite important. And if you'd like to see more, then please subscribe. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye for now.